right, hello wine-drinking people. What have I got to sell you today? All right, folks, well, don't laugh at me, all right? Just because we're putting a Merlot out, I know a lot of you people out there that like Cabernet think Merlot is the bastard stepchild to Cabernet Sauvignon. But actually, Merlot's been around since before Cabernet Sauvignon existed. Actually, Cabernet Sauvignon did not become popular in the last, really, 50 years, you know? I mean, actually in Bordeaux, right after phylloxera, they replanted most of the vineyards. That's when they replanted most of the vineyards to Cabernet Sauvignon. It was actually predominantly Malbec at that time. And today, Bordeaux's mostly planted to Merlot, not Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, pop quiz. Where did Cabernet Sauvignon come from? Well, they crossed Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon Blanc to create Cabernet Sauvignon, Bordeaux, Montpellier University at some point. And Merlot has a much longer lineage, goes back further than that. And Merlot, for some reason, does not get the same respect that Cabernet Sauvignon does. Oh, I'm sorry, unless you're in Bordeaux, where it makes up the majority, the blend of one of the most expensive wines in Bordeaux, not the most expensive wine in Bordeaux, Chateau Petrus, and a lot of other wines from Pomerol and Saint-Emilion like Cheval Blanc, which get big, big dollars. For some reason, California Merlot, well, I don't want to say for some reason, I know the exact reason, a lot of vintners make a thin, lightly, easy to drink, inoffensive wine from Merlot. And it became popular, it was easy to say, even though some people call it Merlot. And then Washington State came around, and they figured out, man, this terroir that we have up here, and the climate is very good for this Merlot varietal. And then the folks at Chateau Saint Michel decided to start this project. 1994 was the first vintage. Northstar was born, and this is a winery that is dedicated to making Merlot. There are not many wineries outside of Saint-Emilion and Pomerol that are dedicated to just this one varietal. And Merlot makes a grape that is makes a wine that's very age-worthy, a wine that you can keep for a very long time. The problem with Merlot, one of the reasons why it's hard to produce, is because it has thin skins, and it's very susceptible to rot and to other things due to the weather, a lot more so than Cabernet Sauvignon is. Cabernet's got much thicker skins. It grows in a lot of places a lot more easy than Merlot does. So you see a proliferation of Cabernet Sauvignon. And then Merlot is a blending grape, so you see Merlot wherever Cabernet is planted. In a lot of places it is, so they can use it to blend. But Merlot doesn't do near as well in as many places. However, the Columbia Valley and Walla Walla, Washington, Merlot does very well. And Northstar makes two different Merlots. The Walla Walla, which is just from select vineyards, that's where the winery is located, and then the Columbia Valley, which they purchase a lot of fruit for this Merlot. And then they make a wine called Stella Maris, which is a Merlot blend, and they do this is the declassified stuff that doesn't make it into these other wines. And they do have other varietals in that. Cabernet Sauvignon, very popular up in Washington State also, but in my opinion, Washington State makes the best Merlot made in this country. And this 06 Columbia Valley, I drank almost a whole bottle last night by myself. It is textbook Merlot. It has lovely ripe red plum and red cherry fruit to this wine, dark chocolate fruit, cigar box spice, very classic bouquet of Merlot. You may even guess this wine is from Pomerol or Saint-Emilion. Lovely, smooth, and silky texture on the tongue. One of the things I love about Merlot is the texture. A little softer on the tannins on the back of your palate, but still has all that ripe fruit on your palate, just like Cabernet Sauvignon does. Really forward and delicious. As a matter of fact, if you look up the definition of Merlot in some wine textbooks, it says similar to Cabernet Sauvignon, focus on the green and herbal flavors, but you don't have too many green and herbal flavors in this wine because they cropped it right and they picked it ripe. And you know, if you overcrop Merlot, you get that green herbalness to the wines. This wine's got a lovely amount of richness and a nice chocolate note to the finish, and some lovely minerality. Minerality is that thing once you swallow the wine, you get that tingly impression on your tongue. That's not acidity. Well, there is acidity there also, but the minerality also shows through on the finish. A wonderful wine. Check it out on today's email. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasone, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.